Okay.
nice.
We're back to the warehouse for the third Blitzball battle. It's rematch week, and Trevor Plouffe is outmatched by frat boys. Welcome to the Blitzball Boys, the podcast about Blitzball and boys, but mostly about Blitz Boys. I'm your co-host, Brendan Ruppel, along with my fellow host, Peter Del Rey.
Hello, crazy games. Rematch week is upon us. All of the matches between today, the next game, and the game after will all be rematches of literally the last round. So, Brendan, I hope you brought your cup of milk because, we've already talked about this one.
Yeah, I brought my cup of milk and I heated it up in the microwave a little bit to make it warm milk because this one was a little bit of a sleeper.
Sleepy.
Snooze fest. No, it wasn't a snooze fest at all. It was. I told you,
No.
I texted you that this is the funniest game that I've ever seen. Not the best game though. Not a good game. Mostly for just one of them, for Forgotten Rotten, obviously.
I mean, it wasn't a good game for
still
either. It wasn't really a good game for either.
It wasn't
intense
at all.
I mean,
to a degree, there was
a lot of walks.
A lot of walks.
Not a lot of hits. You know, it's never what you want to see as a fan when there's more walks than hits, and there was 9 walks, 4 hits in the whole game.
Yeah, and there's moments during Trevor's pitching performance that I was like on the edge of my seat, just for the fact that they hadn't scored anything. So before any runs were scored, I was like, can he like shut them down here? That would be like, that was when I felt the most into the game, was before he had let up the big blow.
And I mean, we'll talk about it more in depth, but the big thing here, obviously, is that Trev was pitching really well if he was pitching to anybody else, because his pitches were all like his at-bats where he was pitching were all designed to get you out with a strikeout on a pitch you're chasing.
Yeah.
And it's just these guys, their plate discipline is so much further advanced than everybody else because they had been playing blitzball for much longer. They know how it moves.
Speed.
Yep, at a much faster speed. They know how the
angles.
ball moves. They know where it's going to end up. You know, if anybody else is at the plate, with the exception of maybe like Zoe and Dan Rourke is on his team, I think a lot of people are chasing that strike 3 that misses the zone, and Trevor just couldn't get away from that.
Yeah, and that's by design too, because Trevor knows that these kids do see better than anyone else in this tournament, so he has to get them chasing. Otherwise, if it is too close to the middle, they're going to rock it, and that's what happened. Like the times that he got strikeouts was when he made insanely precise pitches on the pipes.
Yep, it was well, there's not much more we could say,
and then we'll talk a little bit more
just
about
do a little boing for me.
A little
burn for me. Just a little burn. What's the fire danger today?
Not
burning.
So Plouffe and Rourke seek revenge on Como in this first game of the playoffs, but these college boys did their homework. Forgotten Rotten struggles at the plate and ends up leaving ducks on the pond to put up a first inning goose egg. Trev needs to redeem himself, but with the bases loaded, Sammy Reeser wants to comb all over Forgotten Rotten. Grand slam for Como captains, who end this inning with Rotten doing their best Uncle Jesse impressions. Have mercy. Team Rotten is looking more and more like their namesake, and they get shut down again in the top half of the inning. Team Como wins a laugher over Forgotten Rotten 5-0. Boof. Baboof.
I'm disappointed in you.
I knew you wouldn't like that, but
No.
It came from the heart.
Low-hanging fruit, Brendan. You're better than that.
That's what I do best. I almost wrote this last time. I'm like, I'm going to save this for when this works better. And with the bases loaded aspect to it, I'm like, well, now I have to do this.
Yeah,
Perfect.
That was pretty good. It was good. I have to I have to respect it because it was, but I don't like the fact that I respect it.
I'm glad I got even that out of you. I thought you were going to just turn me off.
Just end the call.
Nope. Not doing this.
The big thing here, right, is this the death of Forgotten Rotten? It's very, very dramatic. But
I mean, it's
this
not
is a
dramatic
podcast
there's one more
for
loss
entertainment.
Entertainment.
I still
haven't
think
lost
that
as many games in a tournament before, so this is new territory.
I still think that they have a pretty, whoever they're playing in the losers bracket, they're going to be the favorite.
Yeah.
But coming out of that first half inning with 0 runs after loading the bases, is that right? No, I don't think it is.
They might have gotten...
Coming out of the first, let me see, walk, try out. No. So after coming out the first inning, with nothing and only 2 runners, I was thinking, ooh, is it going to be one of these games where both teams are like really good on the mound? And
we haven't had one of those games where both teams are shut down. We haven't had one where both teams are completely shut, or either one is completely shut down. We've had a couple teams where they scored maybe a couple in the first here and there, but a lot of the games, as of recently especially, have been like mercy innings. We've seen so many runs scored, and I don't think have we seen a goose egg in the first inning this tournament. We must have.
We had to have.
We had to.
But I don't know. I mean, it's all because of the 3 outs now, right? Because that third out, you get that extra opportunity to hit, and you're seeing a lot of these teams take advantage of it. And the optimistic side of me was saying, oh, now Trevor's going to go shut them down in the bottom of that. And I keep saying this. I forgot to say this in the last episode. I think the worst pitcher should always start the game.
I have this written down as well. I was incensed that they didn't start Dan Rourke.
Yeah, and I said last time too. I thought they should have started Joe's.
I maybe not for the first game. You still trying to feel it. I understand that it didn't work out the first time. You want to see what everyone's got, but I love that they did that in the second game. I did watch. I watched the pregame. Yeah.
So it's really a shame that we didn't get to see Dan Rourke's 4 new pitches.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. At first, I thought you said 40. I'm like, all right, let's relax down.
Yeah, 40 new pitches.
Even 4, like they're all
Four's
just
a
laughing
lot.
at it. Yeah. I'm sure that Peter Moylan
was goes back to
he has a 12-6 curveball that doesn't do anything. So I want to see what these other pitches are all about.
It goes back to what we were talking about, way earlier in an earlier episode where we were like, is anybody going to try new pitches? I don't think so. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they are. I mean,
and then he talked about that. Like, oh, me and Peter talked about this. That's funny.
Wow.
But yeah, I totally agree with you. And I was thinking the same thing, especially once it got later and then Trevor was trying to escape the inning. I'm like, you should have fucking started Dan here because now it's too late to put him in.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
If you start him there,
and that's why
if he gets. So here's the 2 scenarios: he lets up 5 and he doesn't have to pitch more than 1 out after that, or he steals an out. Like if you could steal an out there, that's huge.
He called Jimmy to the mound and was like, "Hey, listen, master tactician. Like, what should I get Dan in here? Should I just finish it out myself? I don't know. What do you think would be best?" He ends up staying in.
At that
gets
point,
5 runs tagged.
The one at bat in that scenario, like, I would stay in too, but because you've already kind of dug yourself a hole here. But
but just the question,
fresh clean inning, that momentum shift would be huge for them. Like they got shut down. Then if Dan can get an out before anything happens, then you're starting to feel pretty good about yourself.
Right. I think I learned during this game that I want anybody but Como to win. Like the whole thing, just because, and it was the same thing with the worm burners. They come in with so much more experience than everybody else, and so much more like expertise with how the ball moves and what to do when. It's just like, who goes into a David versus Goliath situation and says, I think I'm going to root for Goliath?
Yeah, totally. Especially now after we've seen them play 3 games, they're easily the best team we've seen so far.
By a lot.
By a lot. Even like if Trevor still had Vinny, I think they'd still be better than Forgotten Rotten.
Yeah, I do too. And it's all because of that plate discipline. The fact that they know, like, oh, yeah, to you or me, that ball that's sweeping in looks like it's going to hit the pipe.
Right.
They know that it's just going to miss. And like when you look at it, for the majority of Trevor's pitches, they did not miss by much. They missed by a little bit. They looked like they were going to hit the zone and then ended up not hitting it.
Yeah. And he was mixing so much. Like I don't know if he pitched the same pitch twice in a row all that often at all. Maybe if he even did.
He did. There was
he had
one where he walked Caden on a slider, I think it was,
okay,
where he tried to get him to chase twice. And that's the big thing.
Yeah.
You're seeing Trevor trying to get his outs with people chasing. And you saw time and time again, Como's not chasing for the most part balls that are
especially
missing the
not
zone.
so much after seeing him already once before. Even though he's trying different things, they've seen his arm angles, they've seen how much his pitches move in the first round of their play. So now if they see maybe he's the best pitcher before Como starts this tournament, but if that's the best of the best and they saw him before and they have the best trained eyes, they're going to make adjustments, and then they obviously did because they didn't budge at a lot of the nastiest pitches that probably every other hitter in the league would swing at least a few more of those.
Yeah. I mean, this was a game of walks. 5 walks to Como, obviously loading the bases. 2 singles by Sammy and then a grand slam. I'm sorry, 2 singles by Caden, grand slam by Sammy.
A grand slammy.
Grand slammy. It's not like Como
making a cum joke.
You'll have another chance, maybe.
I hope not.
It's not like Como really overwhelmed them offensively. It's just they were steadfast. Yeah, they were steadfast. Lou Deb would have fucking screamed at him.
Fucking swing.
They were just holding their ground really well. They knew what was a strike. They knew what wasn't. I mean, 2 strikeouts we've seen in Blitzball. You get a lot of strikeouts typically. Mm-hmm. The only 2 outs of Como's game was 2 strikeouts where they got up to, they got up to bat once, but still, like they didn't even get a third out.
Yeah, not good.
Good for them.
Yeah,
it was good for Como. It's just not what you want as an opponent. Como's great. Como is fantastic. Again, not overwhelming on the offense, but like there was 1 half inning where Como bat and Trev threw 54 pitches.
I think either Chris Rose or Moreland was saying this, that these guys are playing some old school baseball and just wearing down this starting pitcher right now. And
new school, they said. Chris Rose said new school.
New school? I thought it'd be old school.
Oh no, they said old school in terms of wearing them down, but new school in terms of like seeing pitches
is like a big
and
thing,
being disciplined.
The OPS days, yeah.
Because like old school is more along the lines of like fouling the ball off, and they were just like watching pitches go by,
and pitchers just challenging people over and over again. Like Lance Slim would be like an old school type pitcher.
Right. And then, they put up a 5 spot. All of the runs coming from Sammy. They get back up.
And Caden hits really well too. Like I think you were talking
Caden
about it off
is a
pod.
singles machine.
He really does. Like he won't look fooled ever really at the plate. Like maybe during the at bat he will, but he makes really good adjustments. And you'll sometimes see when a hit's about to happen with him, where he'll like foul one straight back, and he just missed one. And I'm sure I'm almost positive within the next 2 games they're going to play, he's going to hit a home run. I think he's just missing. Maybe he has a little bit of a line drive swing, but he's going to connect with one. He's definitely due. They're both really good hitters.
I don't know if he's going to hit a homer, but because like what he's doing is working.
It's working, but I think he's just due with how much he makes contact and how small this field is.
He has 10 hits total in this tournament, which I think is like, I'll just do really quick.
A lot in 2 games.
Talk a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of Excel math.
Okay, so
to see how many.
One of the things I wanted to say about Trevor and how we're saying that he pitched well before the Grand Slam. He pitched pretty well. It just didn't work for this team. You could say like now, okay, great, you're gonna go to losers bracket, but you could still dominate another team with your pitching. But he threw so many pitches, and I think he dug himself a hole by staying in there, and then after letting up the Grand Slam, continuing to have to throw, and then like not wavering and be like, I want Sammy, and like just he pushed himself way too far in this game, especially at this point when you're already down 4-0, and then you walk 2 more people. Please just let Dan pitch and just like go down. If you're gonna go down with a mercy anyway, why waste 25 more of your own bullets? Now you're gonna be exhausted for your next outing, and I hope he lets Dan start next outing, but that might dig him a hole right there. So I think that this game beat them maybe for the next game too a little bit.
Right. So I did it real quick. Caden has 10 hits. 10 hits. The next highest is 6, which is shared by 5 people, one of them being Trevor. Everybody else hasn't played their second game yet, but Caden only got the 2 singles this game. So he was already leading with 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
8-6. Like, Caden is a hits machine.
And they didn't get many chances to even hit, so.
Right. I mean, he doesn't get as many RBI as someone like Trevor or someone like Sammy, but he does the job of like getting people on base so that they can get those RBI. Yeah. Caden is like, I think, from what I've seen people talking about and from what you hear in the, commentary booth, like, I think Caden's criminally underrated. Underrated. Caden is very, very good, and it's not just a Sammy team, especially at the plate.
I think maybe he just gets a little overshadowed because Sammy happened to have the big hit in this one, and Sammy is just more of a talker, so he's more of a character on the screen, so people talk about him more during the game itself. But yeah, I fully agree with you. I'd say maybe even if you were to break down the stats of like hits per inning played, he might have like a pretty crazy ratio there too. Because I said, he didn't get to play a second inning this game. I had 3 more hits.
I could look into that really quick if you want to talk about this last half inning a little more.
Yeah, and then the last half inning, you hope maybe they'll hit a little bit. Maybe they'll. Honestly, as soon as they put up a 0 in the first inning, I felt like they were doomed, knowing what Team Como did against them last game. Then, okay, they're losing 5-0. The best they could possibly do is tie, and then even if they tie 5-5, Como's going to put up 1 run so easily. They're doomed. They're absolutely doomed. So, I don't know. You need to. It's so important to put up first inning runs in this tournament. With the 3 outs, it just creates so much offense. It's insanely important to just get ahead because I think before Game 8, like I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but majority of the games were won in walk-off fashion. So that the home team wins most of these ball games. So you really got to get ahead as the away team.
I think that Chris Rose and Peter Moreland were saying the home team has won every home ball game. So I just did it really quick. They did have another game where they only had 1 half inning at the plate. So that's 4 innings, 4 half innings, 4 times at the plate, 10 hits. It's 2.5 hits per inning. Caden is
he rakes
the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It stinks that Rotten really kind of got neutered in this game, for lack of a better phrase. But just seeing Como do what they do, it's very impressive. It may not be the most entertaining thing to watch as a fan, but it is very, very impressive.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. Do you feel like after this game, Como is a shoo-in for championship?
I felt that way before the tournament started. After watching that 5v5 game that they did, I was like, these guys, this is the same guys. They're winning the whole thing. It's not going to be close.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I hope it doesn't turn out that way. I hope there's an underdog that makes a noise.
Yeah, me too. But I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dan Rourke being the most entertaining man on the face of the earth. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah, he had some great quotes during this one.
I mean, there's so many quotes, so many just moments of him between the ball hitting him in the nose is how it starts. Just so funny, just stands there. I mean, maybe he's staying in there because he wants to get hit in the head and knows that'll get him a walk, but also just he's just a weirdo. Hits him in the nose, just goes ow, and then has to sneeze.
Pretty huge.
Then we have the classic Dan screaming "fuck" before he finishes swinging.
Love it.
Also great. He's in the field, just come on, let's fuck this shit up. Let's fuck this fucking shit up, bro.
I love him.
Curses more than anyone in all of John Boy Media. So and the announcers love it. They are dying laughing at him the whole episode long. Then there's the moment where he swings and gets so mad that he accidentally the swing back breaks the strike zone.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, and then the biggest one is Sammy's check swing, and then the umpire calls it foul, and then they have to check with the booth, and Dan doesn't seem to understand that, and the announcers are saying, "Oh, it's a no swing," and he's like, "What? That's fucking bullshit, bro." Calls them fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And then immediately Sammy hits a grand slam, and then we have this amazing quote from Chris Rose. The college kids, they come into the warehouse owned by Trevor Plouffe. They come in, they kiss his wife, they put their feet up on the furniture, they steal beer from the fridge, and they take a 4-0 lead. And then Peter Boylan goes, and they take a shit in the upper deck? And he's just like, God, gross. The whole sequence was, I was on the floor. It was the funniest.
Dan was making a lot of noise in this game, and I love it. I really, really love it. I mean, just him like pacing, looking like an absolute madman, going, "I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling, motherfucker." It was insane. He looked like a psychopath. I affectionately have given Dan Rourke, I don't know if you saw this, I gave him a new nickname in there because of how much talking he was doing. I called him the Rourchestra.
The orchestra. I like that.
Like orchestra.
Yeah.
Violins.
So these are the things I should use in Burns. The orchestra.
So, yeah, Dan, so entertaining.
I mean,
Trevor was being entertained by Dan.
They win the game in that respect.
Yeah. Trevor was being so entertained by Dan. He was like laughing in his face. Rose and Moylan were laughing at him. I was laughing at it. I had to pause it because, again, I watched these at work, so I had to pause it so I could like try and stifle laughter.
Yeah.
So I'm not just like erupting in the office.
Even like the smallest thing that was like, I don't know if it was a foul ball or what, I can't remember what the play was exactly, but it was like some sort of ground ball, and Dan tried so hard to get it that Trevor just laughed at him. He appreciates the effort.
It was a great game.
Really funny.
Good for Como. Congratulations, Como. Well deserved.
Congratulations.
Well
Como.
earned.
Way to go.
Well earned. Is this the death of Forgotten Rotten?
It might be just, see. Even just because if they happen to meet them again in the championship, Como's got their number.
Right. Because you're looking at this where Trevor can't do anything against them.
Apparently can't hit and can't pitch against them.
Can't hit, can't pitch.
I'm sure the hitting will come. If he has to come back against Como, he will hit them that much he can make adjustments for. But
their plate discipline, what can you do?
On the pitcher's mound, and it didn't work.
What can you do?
I don't know what you could
do. When you got this plate discipline standing back at you, when your K pitch is, let's make them swing at something that's not a strike, and these guys are just looking at everything unless it's going to hit the zone by more than like just a sliver.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm pretty sure the only strikes that Trevor got were when it was just a sliver.
Right.
What can you do for that?
You can't be.
Well, I mean, like maybe if this
was
right, maybe if this was like a real season that goes through week by like over weeks or months, like you could adjust. But this is going over the course of 4 or 5 days, and what can you do about that?
Yeah.
You can't like make these little adjustments when like your next game against them potentially is tomorrow.
Right. Also, quick little note towards Caden too to amp him up a little more. He didn't pitch that much, but he threw more strikes. Because I think the first at bat he looked atrocious, but after that, figured out a little bit. I think if he can also throw strikes like Sammy is, that team is just not fair.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think Trevor's not going to have an issue with most, if not all, of the other guys in the warehouse.
Yeah.
But if you come back up against Caden and Sammy again, who know what your game plan is and they know when to wait, like we're gonna have new champions. I think, pretty sure.
I mean, again,
and it has not like because I think most people coming into this tournament are going to be thinking like, oh, Vinny's not here. Dan's going to be the weak link. Trevor has
not performed.
11 runs earned off of him.
Yeah, it's nuts. And I think Jolly Olive before the game too said that before this game, Trevor had more strikeouts than he ever has in a tournament, and then struck out 3 more times in this game?
2.
Felt like 3.
But what else can you say?
Not a good look.
Como played a great game. Como completely smothered Forgotten Rotten's fire.
Yeah, you're seeing the progression of Como and just figuring out these rules a little bit. Like the first game was a little shaky for them speed-wise, and they figured it out. They're figuring out how to swing at the slower pitches, and they're recognizing them more. It's like every game they play, they get better.
Yep. But can't talk anymore about the game. We're just going to keep recycling what we said over and over again.
That's it.
So, player of the game. This one's you.
Player of the game. Sammy Reeser hit a grand slammy, and that's enough to put you up for player of the game.
Player of the game. Yep.
And he pitched a gem too.
Yeah, he got 3 strikeouts.
Yeah,
34
easily
pitches.
Dominated.
2 half innings done. 34 pitches, 4 outs.
And
efficient.
For throwing as much as he did, like the amount of innings he had to log, 34 pitches is not bad.
Not at all.
We've seen people go in the 60s
he had
pretty normally.
1 walk, and he had the 1 at-bat where he hit Trevor 3 times in a row. Other than that, he was perfect. Struck out 1 time. And then he had 2, at-bats where, the rest were walks, and it was like a strikeout and a grand slam.
Yeah. He was
I think I'll take
that the whole time.
Yeah. So it's not really a debate.
Not really a debate.
When you win 5-0 and one guy scores all 5 of the runs.
And pitched majority of the game on the other side of it, too.
Yeah. Kind of an easy one. Good job, Sammy.
Clap, clap, clap.
That doesn't get picked up on the mic. I'm clapping.
Here's my claps.
Whenever Brennan says clap, 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 that means I'm clapping, but it's not being picked up on the mic. Don't know why.
I think I have an applause.
So now we go to play of the game.
Play of the game.
Sorry. It's the Grand Slam.
It's the Grand Slam.
I wonder what it's going to be.
I said,
oh my God,
I said before we started, to go with the laughing theme, the play could have been the nose hit.
Could have been the nose hit. Could have been Dan breaking the strike zone.
Yeah.
It could have been Dan talking to himself at any given point.
But in reality, it's the Grand Slam.
In reality, when you score 5 runs and one swing scores 4 of them,
that's
the play of the game, folks.
Did you score 4 runs on one swing? You might be a play of the game.
So Sammy gets the play of the game. Sammy gets the player of the game. Trevor, Dan, Caden, nada.
Nada. Yeah, he's
goose egg.
He's running train on this tournament.
Do better, guys.
Do better.
Because I think right now Sammy is in the lead for MVP.
Yeah. Wow. I like us coming for blood for the other players, telling them to do better.
Yeah, do better, guys. In the pre-recorded tournament that you can't do any better than you've already done. Do better.
It's true.
Try that. How about you try that on for size, guys? How about you try that on for size? Oh, you need an extra large? Sorry, we don't carry that, but try this on for size.
Whoa.
It's a medium. Oh, no. We went too far into the joke.
I'm scared.
We went too far into the joke. It's not funny anymore.
Peter's fat-shaming everyone that listens.
I am. I wear an extra large. Oh, no, I fat-shamed myself.
Oh, no.
But Love Yous versus We Got Ice. Game 2 in the week of Redo Dedo.
I'm so excited to see these other teams. It feels like we've seen this game so much recently just because it was one of the more recent games.
Yeah, it was 2 games ago. Now it's again. We're getting, again, like I said, a Redo Dedo of We Got Ice and Love Yous.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
That was so long.
That was 4 or 5 games ago. Last time, Love Yous came out on top. This time, Brendan thinks that
We Got Ice.
Whoa.
I think I might have said something different last episode, but in my heart, that felt right. We Got Ice. Coming out on top. Jack is going to be dirty. He's been antsy watching these other guys pitch so well. He was like, I'm the best. I've always been the best here. So he's going to show them up. Drop it. He's going to absolutely drop it. And then Zoe is going to hit a home run.
Wow. I hope he does.
Yeah.
We're a big Zoe fan pod. We love Zoe.
Love Zoe.
Zoe is our beautiful Boston boy.
Yeah. We really like Jack, but we love Zoe.
We like Jack, but Jack has also put out there that he may be from New York. We're not sure. The jury's still out. So far, we got one beautiful Boston boy, and that's Zoe. We're going to have to see Jack's papers, his
Jack
passport.
Would just be honest with us, we would love him too, but he's a little shifty.
Jack, write to us. Do you look like Baron Corbin?
Yes or no answer.
I also think it was a very evenly matched game in the first one that we saw.
Yeah, I mean, it's a coin flip for me to pick.
With Lovya's, like, Dalton just edging out Zoe is what made that game end the way it did, I believe. Yeah, 4-3, walk off. That was the game where Nikki was like, yeah, we're going to fucking walk it off. They walked it off. Very close game.
Yeah.
I think in this one, we're going to see another close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be one team routing the other like we did with Como versus Forgotten Rotten. The big question here, obviously, is Zoe going to get back to that good pitching form? He doesn't need to be great. That's the thing. He doesn't need to be great. He just needs to be good.
Get a couple outs. Yeah,
right.
I think overall, if you had to rank the pitching of both teams, they're kind of evenly matched because Jack is the best. And then
Jack's
Zoe
the best
is
of
middle of the pack. Then Lovya's has a really good pitcher and a pretty good pitcher. So I think overall they're kind of mixed in the mix, like together. Their overall rankings are like, maybe if I had to give out 100, they're both ranked around 90.
Right. So like you're seeing, we talk about this with like Zoe, Jimmy, Jake, Joe's, Drew Davis. We've talked about at times, like who's going to show up? What Drew Davis? What Zoe? What Jimmy and Jake are going to show up? The big thing that Lovya's has on their advantage is that Dalton is always consistently good.
Yeah.
Not great, not fantastic, but good.
But he'll find the zone. He's got some
better
balls. He can pitch against an average lineup and dominate it.
Yep. And like with that, I was going to say that I agree with you and I think We Got Ice are going to win, but I think I talked myself into Lovya's.
I like it.
I think I talked myself into Lovya's. I would
right.
like I said, we're a big Zoe pod. We love Zoe.
Yeah.
You know, we love a beautiful Boston boy. We love the flow. We love the glasses.
Beautiful boy.
We love the hockey boy. We want him to shit talk more.
Yeah, shit talk.
But I think Lovya's are going to win this one.
Peter,
and
I love that choice. I think you're dead fucking wrong though. It's a stupid choice, but I like that you I like that you put yourself on the line to look that stupid.
I put myself on the line.
Yeah.
You know what? I put myself on the line.
You did, and you look like a moron for it. But
moron.
That's why people love you.
More on that later. Now we're wrapping up the pod. We're wrapping up the pod now. There's something we've been forgetting to be doing.
There's been this company that I work for that's been paying me a lot of money to run this ad on this program. I keep forgetting, and they're threatening to fire me if I don't say this today. So if you like iced tea and you like the craft, the beautiful organic leaves that go into the tea, it's low in sugar, it's all natural, it's delicious, it's fresh. I'm the one that brews it. I work there, and I make the stuff. Is this a list of what I'm saying?
So listen to what you're saying. You got 8 things so far.
It's a great local company based in Long Island. We brew craft organic iced tea. It's low in sugar. It's great for you. It tastes good. It's a healthy alternative to other drinks you might be drinking. So go to thesubtlety.com to get your order with code HOPPYBOYS. That's HOPPYBOYS for $2 off any order. That comes in a 12 pack. It's like around $30. $2 off will be $28. We deliver to your doorstep with USPS within a couple days. Peter's gotten a couple orders before.
I've gotten a couple orders. I'm like, this is for real. It is delicious. The peach lemonade that they do.
Oh yeah.
And the green tea, the honey green tea that they do is legitimately some of my favorite drinks. It's not too sweet, but it has a ton of flavor packed into it. Like, really, if you like what you see, if you think you might want to get some, absolutely go for it. If you don't want to, don't. We can't tell you what to do.
We can.
You're an adult, presumably.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
be an adult.
I have
Make your
the
own
numbers
fucking
up here,
decisions.
honestly, on Acast, and half our audience is literally a bunch of babies. It's like maybe
No.
I'd say 25% is under 3.
Fuck.
And then the oldest listener is 11 years old.
Oh, we missed the demo.
Yeah. I should maybe cut out that. Maybe I should bleep the whole burn.
Oh,
We're gonna go to jail. Yeah. So check out Subtlety. It's a great place. I work there. I love it. I love the product that we make. We make really high quality stuff with high quality ingredients, and that's all that matters.
Yep. And continue to check out the Blitzball Battle 3 tournament.
Shout us out on Twitter. Our Twitters are up here on this YouTube channel. We love getting tweets from you guys. We love interacting with the players and people that are adjacent to the tournament. Anywhere. Yeah. I'm Peter Posk, PETERPASQ. Oh, yeah, I should say this. I'm Ruppy Puppy, RUPPIE, PUPPIE.
Uh-oh. Run it back real quick.
That's it. That's how you spell it.
Just do it one more time a little bit slower. Okay, perfect.
RUPPIE, PUPPIE. You know what? When I first made that Twitter handle, I think I thought that's how you spell puppy. It has to be why. I have no idea why else. Because it's not like the other version was taken.
It's symmetry.
I guess that makes sense.
That's
why.
But
I could have done RUPPY, PUPPY.
That's true. That's on you.
Who knows?
But
Peter, you have anything else you want to talk about?
Nope.
Thank God. Bye-bye.
Bye.